Title: Shadows Over Thames. Episode 1 of 5, The Last Note. Follow and subscribe 5-episode thriller for more episodes. Rain slashed down on the glass rooftop of the Canary Club, one of London's most exclusive underground venues. The vibrant chatter inside clashed with the storm raging outside. Charlotte, the 18-year-old starlet, stood backstage in a silver sequin dress, humming the final lines of her new song. Her voice, angelic and delicate, floated through the air, her last note echoing longer than it should have. Detective Jay stood in the far corner, watching the room with piercing eyes. At 32, his youthful charm belied a mind sharpened by years of experience. He wasn't here for the show. Someone had sent an anonymous tip. Something terrible was about to happen tonight. Charlotte exited the stage to a standing ovation, the room buzzing with admiration. She made her way to her dressing room with her usual entourage, but something about her seemed off. A few whispered words with Oliver, the club's 35-year-old watchman and loyal doorman, and she disappeared behind the velvet curtain. Meanwhile, Arthur, an influential 40-year-old businessman known for his shady connections, sat at a VIP table with his 20-year-old girlfriend Florence draped on his arm. Florence's eyes followed Charlotte with something between envy and disdain. She sipped her champagne and leaned into Arthur's ear. "She's getting too much attention." Arthur chuckled. "Jealousy doesn't suit you, darling." Jay took a slow lap around the venue, noting exits, cameras, faces. His gut twisted. Something was wrong. Then came the scream. Within seconds, the crowd parted like the Red Sea. Oliver was the first to reach the hallway behind the stage. Charlotte's dressing room door was ajar. Jay pushed past the gathering crowd and stepped inside. Charlotte lay sprawled across the floor, a single shard of glass protruding from her neck. Her wide eyes stared into nothing. Blood had soaked into the white fur rug beneath her. The window behind her was smashed. Rain gushed in, mingling with the red. Jay knelt beside her, checking for a pulse. Nothing. The dressing room smelled of perfume and iron. The mirror across from her had a message scrawled in lipstick. One note too many. Oliver stood in the doorway, face pale. "No one came this way, sir. I swear." Jay stood slowly. "Lock the exits. No one leaves." Arthur stepped into the room, Florence behind him. His face was unreadable. "Was it an accident?" he asked. Jay turned sharply. "Murder." A collective gasp echoed from the hallway. Jay scanned their faces. Arthur's cold indifference, Florence's tight grip on his arm, Oliver's twitching hands. "Everyone here tonight is a suspect," Jay declared. "And no one leaves until I find out who killed Charlotte." An hour later, Jay set up a makeshift investigation room in the club manager's office. Charlotte's body had been taken away. Forensics had begun their sweep. Jay requested surveillance footage, staff interviews, and a guest list. He interviewed Oliver first. Loyal to a fault, Oliver had worked the door for 5 years. He insisted no one entered or exited the back hall from the time Charlotte left the stage to when she was found. "No strange deliveries, unexpected guests?" Jay asked. Oliver shook his head. "Nothing, sir. Except, well, Charlotte did get a package earlier. Small box. Didn't see who dropped it off." Jay raised an eyebrow. "What was inside?" "Didn't open it, but I remember Florence asking about it." Jay noted that. Florence sat elegantly when called in. Her face was tear-streaked, but her tone cold. "I barely knew her. We just ran in the same circles." "You asked about a package she received?" "Curiosity. She's always flaunting things." "Were you jealous of her?" "Not enough to kill her, detective." Jay leaned in. "Sometimes jealousy doesn't need a reason." Arthur's turn was next. Stoic, composed. "She was just a singer," he said. "A very famous one with a lot of enemies." Arthur smiled. "Aren't we all?" Jay's instincts screamed that Arthur knew more. He always kept his hands clean, let others do the dirty work. Jay needed proof. Late that night, Jay reviewed the footage. At 9:27 p.m., Charlotte entered her dressing room. At 9:29, the lights flickered, just for a second. At 9:30, a figure in a hooded raincoat passed by the hallway camera, unidentifiable. Jay froze the frame. The figure carried a violin case. Jay whispered to himself, "One note too many." He turned to the file on Charlotte's background. Classically trained. A child prodigy. Rumors swirled about a falling out with a mysterious former mentor. Jay now had a dead girl, a cryptic message, a smashed window no one saw being broken, and a club full of secrets. He lit a cigarette and looked out at the rain-soaked streets of London. The game had begun. Follow and subscribe 5-episode thriller for more episodes.